Welcome back to Great Day. As we salute those who served on this Veterans Day, the toughest part about war is the human toll it takes. Almost every soldier who has been on a battlefield has lost a friend or friends. Along with PTSD, there is oftentimes guilt for making it out alive when others did not. You've seen Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, on Great Day many times. He's written a book on grief called Never Letting Go. He also has special words for those vets who are holding on to that pain. Please welcome Mark Anthony. Good morning.
Thank you, Deborah.
Death is something that's also very personal to you, obviously, but
Yes.
in particular for today on Veterans Day, your dad served.
He did. My father was one of the original Navy SEALs. They called him frogmen, and the underwater demolition team in World War II. And he saw combat in the Philippines and Guadalcanal and in the Battle of Okinawa, which a lot of people don't realize was a larger amphibious operation than the D-Day invasion of France.
Wow.
And as a special forces at the time, he had to do some covert operations. And he told me about this one time when they had to take basically a rubber raft in, and they didn't have the technical expertise we had then. It was a 9-man team, and they had to go and take out a few machine gun nests.
Okay.
And
today we do it with drones.
Today we do it with drones. And one of his comrades, they had to leave behind because he was killed. And then there's another story he tells about, you know, when your life flashes before your eyes. And Okinawa was an 88-day battle. And we lost over 20,000 Marines and sailors and soldiers killed, and probably another 100,000 wounded. It was an incredibly bloody battle. And there was this one time, my dad was on a ship called an LSM, and what it did, Deborah, is it brought the Marines and tanks and hit the beach and would release them, so it had a really shallow draft. And when they were coming up to the shore, the Japanese were really trying to sink these because then they'd be killing the troops. Right. And this one torpedo plane swooped in, dropped a torpedo, and it was headed midship. And my dad was a gunner, and they were all trying to shoot the torpedo. And he said the last thing he remembers is someone screaming, "Hang on!" And they're all holding on, and then nothing happened. And they looked, and the torpedo went right under their ship. Wow. Because the LSM had such a shallow draft. It only took like 9 feet of water, and the torpedo was 12 feet. So it missed their ship by 3 feet.
There's so many stories of that.
Oh,
you know, people
it's
who barely
amazing.
made it out alive.
Yeah.
You got to do something with your dad. That is so cool. We have a great program here in Houston as well that does that.
Yes.
Honor flight.
I can't say enough good things. And in the audience, we have Korean and World War II vets.
Yes.
Thank you guys for your service. God bless you. And because of you, the honor flight got started. Back in 2005, there was a retired Air Force captain who was a physician's assistant in Springfield, Ohio, a guy by the name of Earl Morse. And he noticed that the Korean and the World War II vets, the vast majority had never been to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials erected for them. And a lot of them were in really poor health and couldn't afford it. So he presented his plan to an aero club. Long story short, 6 pilots flew 12 vets to D.C.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Now there's honor flight hubs all over the country, and to date, 20,000 vets from Korea, World War II, and now Vietnam are going to Washington to see the memorials.
And they're all nodding their heads right here, so let's go ahead and sir, what is your name, sir? And tell me what that experience was like for you.
Dale Cooper. I'm from Port Lavaca, Texas, and I'm living in Brooksdale, home for people up here.
So what was that experience like, honor flight, for you?
One of the best things that happened in my life.
Wow.
We flew out of Hobby into D.C., and when we walked up the ramp, they took us off the airplane last. And when we walked around the corner and you come out into the terminal, you couldn't see how many people lined up for us.
Yeah, cheering you on.
Everywhere we went, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Well, we love you.
And
we
never,
thank
I'll
you.
never forget it.
and this is just a small way that we can pay you back. When you support Honor Flight, this is what you help to support those flights.
And what's nice about Honor Flight, there's 2 conditions. Number 1, that the vets don't pay anything, because you guys have paid a price none of us, I mean, can really even imagine.
You guys and a gal. We got a woman
And a
here
gal,
too.
and a gal.
Women took part in World War II as well.
Yeah, we could not have won the war without the ladies. That's right. We had Rosie the Riveter,
Yes.
we had the Waves and the Wax, and now we have female Marines, and thank you. Thank you for your service. In fact, one of the memorials in D.C. is dedicated strictly to women. And it's fascinating to see the war effort women have made, all the way from Betsy Ross sewing the first flag right up to now, you know, the pilots and the technical wizardry. So
and what did you do?
I was an Army nurse.
All right.
And you're a servant.
Well, there you go. Especially being a nurse, when you were in that kind of theater right there,
oh my gosh,
you know, you saw people go often. So in writing this book,
yes,
a lot of us, death is very sad for us.
Yes.
And you say it's sad for us, but not necessarily for the loved one who passed over.
That's true. And Never Letting Go, my first book, is about coping with loss. My second book, Evidence of Eternity, is dedicated to veterans. Because I wrote a lot about my dad and what he went through, because you know, you are the people that fought for freedoms that we take for granted. You know, freedom isn't free, okay? It comes at a very heavy price. And I have seen in my work as an attorney, and even more so as a psychic medium, how the grief still today, you know, my dad, when he thinks about his best friend who was killed in Okinawa, that was 71 years ago, and it's like it was yesterday. And seeing all the vets, and what was funny, Deborah, you know, and with all due respect, you know, you guys are up in age, you know, and so when all you guys get together, all of a sudden this energy comes on, and the vets are running around, and we're the guardians trying to keep up with you. It was amazing. It was amazing to see everyone talking about what they did, but also vocalizing and expressing the pain, the suffering, the sacrifice that they went through. It was just overwhelming. And also, one of the beautiful things about the Honor Flight is the healing that went on. To be acknowledged. Was Bob Dole there when you got there? Yeah, Senator Bob Dole was there, and
we're looking at your father when you guys went. Yes.
Yeah, you know, my dad met Bob Dole, and it was so funny because Dad goes, "I think I could take him." And it's like,
But you know, oftentimes we hear, if we needed you today, y'all would suit up and take part, wouldn't you? And you're like, yeah, I'd suit up today. All right. We're going to come back with Mark in a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit more about that letting go of the grief and the pain, and remembering the good part of that person.
Yes.
And perhaps some of those Army buddies might be coming through. We never know. We'll be right back.